Hi, my name is Darren Galka. Welcome to our video explaining about Experior Financial Group and really the power of our model. I get asked all the time, Darren, how did you in the last 5 years build a team of over 1,200 licensed agents, 100 executive director agency owners, 50 shareholders, and almost 40 six-figure and multi-six-figure earners? Is because of this incredible model. So I want to share a story with you a little bit. If you're somebody that's a leader, a builder, a team builder, a producer, you're going to want to know all the ins and outs and get to know us and take a serious look at Experior Financial Group, as so many top professionals are building their businesses here, moving their agents here, moving their teams here. It's been a very, very exciting time. But let's jump right in and explain to you really why that is. We are a global MGA IMO. So we had humble beginnings in 2014 here in Canada. We grew rapidly across Canada. Now we're opening up the whole US markets, all 50 states and territories. Puerto Rico will be next year. We're opening up globally as well. We're looking at Mexico, South America, Europe, Asia, etc. And so a humble beginning now, our march towards 10,000 agents across North America, and being able to grow a global business is really powerful because you're not just limited to one state, one province, one city, or one country. We're going to globalize the company. That means that you'll have an opportunity to build and grow more wealth for families and clients across the global space, as well as for you and your family. So where did it begin? Humble beginnings with Jamie and Leanne Prickett. I love the fact that these are great leaders. When you're looking at an IMO, you want to have great leadership, not some corporate talking head or corporate talking mouthpiece. You want to have a real leader, someone that knows the industry, has been in the industry, has worked in the industry, and understands how to do the business. And so I love the fact that these are amazing entrepreneurs in their young 40s, incredible people, high integrity. They've got amazing personal and spiritual values, and they're just incredible people, hard-working people. And so this is a company built by agents for agents, and now it's owned by agents, and you'll have the opportunity to own shares of Experior Financial Group, as all of the agents do. And we'll talk about that a little bit more, but it's great having that's tremendous leadership at the top of the company. So what is our mission statement? Our mission statement is building financial foundations for families to empower them today and build a legacy and leave a legacy for tomorrow. And so when you look at that mission statement, that's very important. The legacy is the key word there, because so many people talk about legacy, but do you actually have a legacy? If you were to pass away today in your current business, if you're an AGA under an MJ or a FMO under an IMO, do you have ownership? Is it contractual? Is it written down on paper? And is your wife an assigned beneficiary or children assigned beneficiaries? If not, you don't have ownership. And so that's a really big difference of the business world today, is that you got to make sure you have ownership. And we'll talk about that in a bit. But that legacy is very, very important, not just for clients, but also for agents. Now, who's our product partners? We've got some of the best multi-billion-dollar product partners that you can name in the industry, and we're adding more all the time as we get bigger and bigger. And of course, it's a great opportunity and advantage because you can, instead of being a one-trick pony when you're only selling one company or one brand or one type of product, this allows you to sell all the types of brands and all the types of products, because certain people have different needs in terms of their financial prowess. And so again, young families starting out, we need basic level price. And as you get more advanced and more wealthy, the price become more complex and more advanced. And again, that's why you want to have lots of diversity. This is also important for team builders, because your agents might gravitate to 4 or 5 specific companies they really hold in high value and use those for their clients and their agents. So having that diversity is important. Also hard to insure. That's a big market today. If you don't have a hard to insure product line, you're dead in the water. You're going to miss out on tons of opportunity and tons of business. So again, this is an awesome place to be about having so many products and services to service clients, but also attract agents to the business. Now, what about our investment partners? So on the mutual fund side, we deal with Cart Wealth Management. Amazing when you can offer these kinds of products and services on the mutual fund side as well. So we have that division also. So again, if that's something that you are keen on and working with, of course, we have that in our firm. The biggest thing about Experior is having a full toolbox of solutions, being able to handle all of the insurances, all of the investments, being able to service the mortgage and debt solutions on a referral basis, being able to offer, specialty type products like in the home auto space, in all the other different areas and avenues that we have, and the health spending accounts, group benefits, programs, pensions, things like that. All the different, programs out there. The newest one, the First Home Savings Account, the FHSA, all those programs as well are included. So that full toolbox enables you as an agent or as a team of agents to be able to service more of the market. Again, why would you leave so much money on the table by only having a one-trick pony concept, or only selling one product or solution to every man, woman, and child, which is wrong in the industry. It should not even be allowed, and you should be forced to do the right thing. And that's coming down regulatory wise right now, being able to offer a full toolbox. We're so excited to do this because so many top agents need and want this. Now, how do we do that though? We do what's called an expert financial analysis, and it's mandatory that we do this for all families because we don't want to miss anything. And so also being compliant and also being able to service the clients better, it allows us to be a one-stop solution. So again, remember, when you're building a business, why would you want to leave business on the table? You want to be able to capture all of that business. That means, helping families, helping them achieve their mission statement, their goals of financial independence and their futures, but also guarantees that you also will be able to capture all that business. That just means more profit into your organization and business. So let's take a look at Experior's world. How are we shaking up the industry? So how did Jamie Leanne shake up the entire industry? I love this part. In the industry, there's basically 3 models you can work with. This is a career captive model. So if you're working at a bank or working at a career captive agency, maybe it's like a Sun Life or some of these career captive agencies, nothing wrong with them. They do what they do. They're very good at it. There's strengths and weaknesses there. If you get really good at the business, though, you don't really need help or you don't really need somebody guiding you. You can become an independent broker, go work in the MGA, IMO channel in America. And so again, there's strengths and weaknesses there, the access to products, owning your clients, higher compensation if you're producing. And so on the other side, there's this sort of networking builder type models. And so here are strengths and weaknesses. You can build multiple agencies, override structures, national expansion, but there's also some brand image issues. Some people in this industry are scared, if you can believe it, scared to even give out the name of the company they work with. And they're hiding their name behind their internet or hiding their name behind some other product partner's name. And so I think that's unfortunate. And I think the problem with that is because some of those builder models are like almost like a kind of a network marketing system where it's like recruit, instead of actually doing what we're supposed to do, which is do financial advisory and planning for families. So again, I think that when you look at the model, what Experior did was they took the best of all 3 and put it into one model. So I give credit to Jamie and Leanne for doing this as the founders and putting this together under one amazing model. So what does this allow us to do? It's allowed us to be able to attract people from almost every different area in the industry, which is very unique for most, builder type models. It's hard to do that because the compensation in some builder models is so low that nobody in the right mind would ever want to leave the industry and go to a builder model and take that huge of a pay cut. So we are very flexible. This tribrid model allowed us to be able to attract people from all over the industry. And I'll explain it in a little bit deeper concept here. So taking a look at our industry-leading producer and builder model, okay? So when you look at building a business and having an agency, you think about RE/MAX, I've got brothers with RE/MAX and having a RE/MAX agency or a home auto insurance agency, that's essentially the same thing we're building here. So you have the ability to start out at the basic levels and grow your business up. We also have the ability to start experienced agents at a higher contract level, because why would you start at the bottom? That wouldn't make any sense. And so by building a team of agents over time, you can get to our first promotion level simply through production. You can also do it through building agents. So whether it's 4 or 7 active agents and hit the volume requirements, you graduate to our top executive director, agency owner concept. But also if you are continuing to grow and build your organization, you can also graduate your personal contract up to as high as a FYC plus 160 by doing the growth and the production. So by hitting 10 and 50,000 and 50 and 75, and hitting 20 new agents in your agency on a monthly basis and 100,000 of premium, you qualify for the highest contract level. So this is a nice opportunity for you to be able to grow and build your business, but also take advantage of the highest contract available. Now, what happens when you become an executive director? So for those of you out there that understand the building model, we get paid on 7 agency levels. So what does that mean? That means that when you're building other executive directors, that the company takes a portion of that profit and they hand it to you for helping the company grow and build the agency. This is a standard structure in a lot of organizations out there in terms of being able to grow business and grow distribution. And so, it's not a franchise, but it's kind of like that model where there's an override incentive for building other agencies. And so when you do that, you get paid up to 7 agency levels. So there's a 53% bonus override structure in place to build other agencies. And that's a true ability to grow and build a residual income business. Now, what happens when you get to pay this all out, we're paying out at 213%. Most contracts in the industry, and I've seen some recent comp plans saying they're paying out 260, which is a joke, because when you look at that, most contracts in the industry are going to max out at 230, maybe 240 maximum. And so the profit left to the company has to still be there. So again, we're paying out one of the highest compensation grids in the entire industry based on the total comp grid that we have here on the screen. So now taking a look though, Darren, what about people that are not maybe geared to building, but they're more on the producer side? This is a beautiful addition we just made this year where you can get promoted based on your production only. So when you jump from a financial associate to senior financial associate just by hitting some premium production levels, then once you hit a $60,000 annual or $30,000 in your last 6 month cash flow of all cash flow that come into your business with Experior, then you get bumped up to FYC plus 100. When you hit $100,000 of income annually or $50,000 specifically in the last 6 months, we bump you to FYC plus 120. When you get a $75,000 6 month cash flow, that'd be 150 for the year, you get an FYC plus 140. So when you're producing and growing business and hitting out income, you're going to get the higher contracts. Now, it goes even higher than that. So these are the first 3 levels you can get just by producing. And this is a game changer for the industry because most companies don't allow this. They say they do, but they really don't. They kind of, I think they kind of trick people into believing that, but they don't. And so when you look at the opportunity here to go from senior manager and get to be able to increase your levels, when you are consistently producing 15,000 of annual premium, not FYC, but annual premium, then you'd bump up to FYC plus 145. You're consistently doing 20,000 premium. The following month, you get bumped to a 150 bonus. And then from 30,000 premium, you get bumped to a 160 bonus. So what has this allowed us to do? It's allowed us to create a compensation model for the entire industry. And so now we're able to bring on industry veterans. You know, recently we had a big industry veteran join us, and he's been able to go out and knock out almost $250,000 in his first 6 months with us because he knows how to produce, but he's on this producer grid. And so he also has the ability to build. So this is a game changer for the entire industry where people now have the opportunity to pick and choose which side of the business they want to be on within Experior. So amazing, amazing concept. I'm so blessed to be able to be part of a company that recognizes both types of people. You know, for so long, it was just, you have to be a builder, you have to be a big industry leader, recruiter, but that's not the case because right now, today, you can be both and still win. So I love it. So this has now opened up an industry-wide opportunity. Of course, we can grow and find good unlicensed agents to train and build the industry. And this is, by the way, the power of the builder models. You know, there's so much criticism today about all these companies that recruit and build. Hey, listen, who's bringing new people to the industry? Are the people complaining about it doing it? No, they're not. And so the industry would die if we didn't bring new people to the industry to go help more families, because we have an aging industry, just like we have an aging population. So the more people who leave the industry by not passing on that knowledge, it's a shame because we're losing so much great wealth of knowledge of people who are now passing on from the industry or leaving the industry because of that age factor, or they're just not able to go out and really service the market because of that age factor. So again, we have the ability to do bring on unlicensed people, but more importantly as well, we have the ability to attract licensed agents because we have the product offering, the top compensation. You own your book of business from day one with Experior. You have the ability to also train others and earn some income doing that. But also we have legacy ownership and exit strategies for licensed agents as well, but also the teams of licensed agents. So again, being able to grow with AGAs or FMOs in America. So being able to move under Experior's MGA in Canada or under our IMO in America, we handle all the processing, back office, being able to expand nationally, internationally, having online, national, and international support with all these exit strategies and legacy I'll talk about in a moment is just an absolute game changer. In my previous MGA I was with, I never had the ability to bring on teams of licensed people. It was almost rare, almost never heard of. In fact, hardly ever even done today, as far as I'm aware, in some of those companies, because why would you come to a company that pays way less, right? And so most of the compensation is stacked to the upper echelon intergalactic superstars, but it doesn't pay the people in the agency. So taking a look at an example, if you don't know how the agency system works or how the normal system in Canada works, here's how it works. We get paid in what's called, on our annual premium, we get paid what's called first year commission, FYC. Depending on what product you sell, Lower term price, like term 10 pays less than a term 20, which would pay less than a term 30. And then the permanent price, which is why a lot of people gravitate towards permanent. And some companies, that's all they actually sell, which I think is completely wrong in the industry. And there's regulatory against doing that and making sure it's done properly, which we're seeing today. But the FYC, if you have a 50% FYC on a term 20 example like this, then you'd receive $600 plus what's called a bonus. So a lot of people get confused. They say, wait a minute, Darren, how does some company pay out 140%? There's only 100% to pay out. You don't understand the industry, and that's okay. I didn't understand it initially either. When I came from my previous MJ, we never talked about this stuff because they want to basically hide it from you because they didn't want you to know how little you're actually getting paid when you could have got paid a lot more in the regular industry. So 40% bonus on top of the 600. So you multiply 40% of 600. That equals 240. You add these two together to get 840 in our very first basic position, brand new. So what is your current compensation based on this example? And so a lot of the builder models, the comp is way, way lower to the agent. In fact, they're selling you the dream, but you're actually living a nightmare. You're not getting paid anything. And the comp really goes to those who can really build, which I think is wrong. I think you want to give your compensation, the lion's share of the money, to the people in the agency, but still, if we still have the override structure that's comparable or beating other models, then we've got the best of both worlds. So again, you'll see your senior financial associate is 1,020, 1,200, and 1,440. So that's how the normal industry works. It's FYC plus a bonus. But what you need to focus on is just really what's your net in your pocket at the end of the day when you sell this exact same product in your firm at the same level. So most firms have 4 to 5 different tiers or levels. So taking a look at another personal income example. So again, we just talked about these different income levels here on the previous screen, but I want to show you now how crazy it is to build income in our world. And so when you're just producing for a moment and you haven't figured out the growth side or the building side, what happens if you just help one person a week instead of one person maybe a month with a protection strategy? So here again, if you have 4 people paying $100 a month, that would be the equivalent of $4,800 of yearly premium. So that would increase your income to $3,360, $4,000, $4,800, and $5,700. This is almost full-time income. And so the ability to work part-time into full-time is another attractive feature. Because we pay much more compensation to people, we have high retention. And so the reason that some of these firms are out there just recruiting is because they have to, because so many people are dropping off like flies here because they can't make any money. And so they're made big promises and then they can't make any money and they can't stay in the business. And so I've seen people go in, make some money for a while, and then have to drop out later. So with this higher compensation, it means a much higher retention. People always say to me, Darren, I'm in this to make money on my residuals or my overrides. I said, yeah, well, so am I. What do you think I'm doing here? Of course, I want to make money with residual, but I'm going to help my families and clients as well. But where does that residual income come from? It comes from retained agents. What's your override when someone quits? 0. So if you can't keep your agents, that's why you have to recruit. And that basically, by the way, hurts your branding. It hurts your brand because people think you're something that you're not. You're not really a financial company. You're more of like a recruiting company or MLM type company. And so it's different. And by the way, I don't have any problem with MLM. I think there's some great models out there. There's some great legal models out there that work very well. But I'm just saying that if you don't have high retention, you're going to have to constantly be recruiting all the time to replace all the people who quit. So I love our model for this because you're going to make great money while you're building something. On top of that, if you're not getting these right now, your company's keeping it. So almost every carrier, majority of carriers in the industry have what's called carrier bonuses. So what does that mean? So all these companies, if you do great production with them, they give you additional carrier bonuses. So for example, Beneva has carrier bonuses on the investments and the insurance side. So if you're doing good business with them and you're serving the clients properly, being compliant, then you're going to get an extra bonus of up to 20, 25, 30, even 35 or 40% additional bonus money direct to you. Not through Experior, not watered down, but direct to you as an agent. So this is huge, folks. All these companies are doing it. And a lot of people are not aware of this because their company keeps all the money. No wonder they can offer this and that and do extra things, but they're basically taking the money from the agents and keeping it from you when they should be giving it to you. And so we love this because anybody from the regular industry knows this and appreciates this because it's a loyalty bonus. So again, if you're not getting it and your company's keeping it, maybe you want to talk to your company, or maybe better yet, change companies. All right, let's talk about ownership. There's 3 main important areas of ownership you've got to understand. Number 1 is ownership of your clients. I sold an agency in 2012, my previous MGA, and I did not own the clients, got absolutely zero for all that book of business. About 1,100 life clients, over $20+ million of money under management, zero. Zero for it. I'm explaining to you the power of owning your clients. If you don't own your clients, if you leave your agency, if you cannot do a block transfer of all your agents, you don't own your clients. Okay. That's common in most of the builder models in this world. So the second one is owning your agency. Do you truly have a legacy? Is your spouse a named contractual beneficiary or family member a named beneficiary? If not, you don't have ownership. Okay. And so ownership could depend on you having to negotiate with your agency person above you, that you have to, what's that negotiation? If you try to sell it, well, then it becomes a negotiation. What if you're gone and your spouse is left behind, has no idea what the ownership is? The reason we create a guaranteed ownership structure, because so many people negotiate with a savvy agency owner above them and they got taken advantage of and didn't get the proper valuation. I've seen it so many times in different companies. We didn't want that to happen to good people building good business. This business isn't built for somebody else. It's built for you and your family. So why would you put the ownership in somebody else's hands and not your own? So the last one is ownership in Experior, earning shares and sharing the growth and excitement and the profit of the company in the future. And the continued profit going forward, and then growth of all the markets we're going into. So what does ownership of your clients mean? So in the normal industry, you might get 2 to 3 times of your annual income if you find a buyer and if you own your clients. As I just mentioned to you, having that big book of business, I had 2 full-time staff. I got $0 for that entire book of business because technically didn't own it. Okay. So in Experior's way, you can receive 75% of all the residual income coming in from that book of business. Obviously, you have to maintain licenses and do the proper things there, but that's a tax-efficient way to get bought out of your book of business. But it's also a much higher valuation. Technically, it's a 7.5 times valuation if you keep the payouts coming over that time frame, and it's nice to have residual income coming in for those years. So why would you give it away when you could get a much better valuation? Let's talk about the agency. The industry's way is zero if you don't have a contract. If you're an AJ under an MJ, you don't have an exact contract protecting you, you don't own nothing. You own jack, okay? That's just the way it is. And so they don't want to tell you, because when something happens to you, what's going to happen to all your agents? And the other problem with being in that model, by the way, without a guaranteed structure to protect your agents, guess what? They always come and poach your agents. It's happened to us numerous times at Experior. Various MGAs always try to poach your people and they take them from you. Well, we provide a protection against that. We don't do that. We don't allow it. It's not allowed in our firm. So again, why would you want to build somewhere where you run the risk of them poaching all your agents and basically creating your own competition, because they just go around you and go direct? And of course, they don't want to lose a business. They're going to negotiate some deal, give you a much lower amount, and try to be happy with that. And that doesn't work for most professionals that understand anything about business. So here, the minimal value, let's say that God forbid something were to happen and you need to be able to step out of the industry. You want to go do something completely different, or God forbid you're disabled, couldn't do this, passed away early. We guarantee at least 75% of your agency income for the next 10 years, guaranteed. So what this does, it creates a minimal valuation so nobody can play games with a bereaved spouse. Again, we saw this in different companies. And so this way you're guaranteed minimally to get this. If no one in your family takes it over, my wife and I don't have children yet. We're working on that. It's a big part of our life right now. But and we'll be blessed when we'll be blessed. And but what if we don't have kids, who do we leave it to? Well, we have to have a named beneficiary. So it's going to be somebody in our family. But my wife, God forbid something happened to me, I could pass on to her because it's contractual. Do you have that currently? If you don't own anything. You've got to have it in contractual relation. And so this gives you a minimum 7.5 times valuation. Again, now, if you have a child or your spouse is licensed, yes, they can take over 100% of the business. Now, I got some people out there that don't understand anything and they think they do, but they're saying, why would you only take 75%? I'm keeping 100. My wife will take it over. Well, of course they would. That's the minimum guarantee that they can have, is the wife could take it over at 100%. But I'm just saying, what if they can't? What if they don't want to? What if your spouse is a top level professional in some other industry and doesn't want to be part of the business, and your kids don't want to do it either? They're out doing their own thing. This is a guaranteed way. And we have 4 levels of this. So again, what this does is it guarantees and protects you from the inevitable, the unfortunate, the tough situations, right? If you want to retire and walk away, maybe you have a big passion for going into something else in your life and serving and doing other wonderful things in this amazing society and on planet Earth. And maybe you want to walk away, but you want to keep your income coming in. So again, you have to look at licensing and compliance-wise, making sure it's all able to be done properly. But again, what if this did happen? right? And so again, all it does is guarantees that value, that ownership, all that hard work you put in for many, many years. I've heard so many horror stories, folks, of people who did not have this and they basically stole their business. It's criminal. It should not be allowed. And so we want to make sure that it's guaranteed and protected. So we have a team of executive leadership council members that helped create this. And one of our very own, Andrea Rogers, amazing lady, she helped create this and brought this to the table. 2 years later, we rolled this out and it just provided that extra value. So watch this. We have 4 levels of this. This is a basic summary, and we'll give you all the fine details when we get together. But when you are silver, that means you've qualified as executive director. You've hit the numbers. You now have a beneficiary named to your agency at a minimal guaranteed value set in stone at qualification level. And this means 10 years at 75% of all that income goes to your family over that time frame. Now, as you continue to grow your business, this is a business we want to grow and build and help more families. So if you hit 50 licensed agents and these qualifications, then you would receive not just 10 years of income at 75%, but you'd receive then a lifetime 25%. So again, added value for you and your family by building and growing a better business. You get rewarded more. The platinum level is where you receive the same 10-year 75%, but now you get a lifetime 50%. And this is when you're building up to 150 agents or the executive directors in your organization. And so depending on which level that is, you qualify for this. We've had so many people in the last few years qualify for all these levels. It's been just amazing. Every executive director that qualifies as an executive director gets this. Now, some will come in grandfathered because they come from our company, but you have to still fully qualify to get this and get our shares, because we can't just grandfather that. It's a very prestigious position. Platinum Plus, we've got four people now in the company that have graduated this level, which is just amazing. And this Platinum Plus level, we got many more on the heels and many at platinum now, a whole bunch of gold and a ton at silver. So again, this is just extra value for you, knowing that what you built, you own, knowing that God forbid something happens to you, it's guaranteed and protected. And so you don't need to worry about your spouse negotiating with some, savvy person about what the value is. She or he will know the value. Your children will know the value because it's set in stone. So I love the fact that you can do this. So third point of ownership is shares. I've seen recently companies offer flagging out shares. Listen, you can offer somebody 100,000 shares, but if your cap table is 1 billion shares, it means zero. Okay. So when you offer shares, you got to have the ability to know, what that is. And so again, we would give out shares of Experior. These are real shares. You get real actual share certificates every year sent to you, so you know you own the shares. So every year since I've been here, they've provided the shares to the executive directors, to the next promotion levels. So again, this is a chance to celebrate the company's growth and financial success. So when you hit different title levels here, and you get more and more shares, up to 14,000 shares. I was looking at a competitor company, been around since the 80s. It rhymes with America. If you look at their share value, they're a one-trick pony, term insurance and invest the difference concept, and they've done an amazing share value. It's crazy, over 100 and I think 30 or 40 bucks a share. What if we as we're globalizing the company and going to multiple countries around the world? Imagine if our share value hits $1 billion valuation. These shares could be worth over 100 bucks a share. So what's 100 bucks times 14,000? 1.4 million extra value for you and your family by just going and doing what we're going to do anyways and knock out these levels and become a higher level in the company. But for someone that's really, ambitious and wants to knock these out, this is here for you. And so be a shareholder of the company. Now, let's talk about timing. The ability to grow all across Canada and be able to override. Now, there's certain provinces require licenses and proper compliance and qualifications. You got to follow the industry standards, guys. You can't play games with the compliance in the industry. You've got to be industry compliant. And so we love the fact that we can build a business across the countries and be able to, have agents in other areas, help grow and build distribution there and get paid for doing that. And so it's awesome to build a business. My wife and I started in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. We've now got a business that expands across the country, training, coaching, mentoring. It's sad that a lot of great agents in the industry who are top producers don't get the ability to share their knowledge and be able to build something for themselves, because all that wonderful knowledge and talent is being lost. That's why our industry, needs to keep growing and expanding, because we're losing so many good people because they don't have anything that rewards them to teach and train, because they don't want to train their competition, so to speak, for free. And so you have to have some kind of incentive to want to train and coach people, which we do. And so building all across Canada, opening up more and more offices. We have such a huge market to build yet in Canada, but also how about the US? Being able to build and grow a business in the US. My wife and I have a business in the US growing and building there. You know, my dad was American, my grandma's side was American, so we've got that American connection, but you can grow and build and receive income from the US as well. But this is a first mover advantage. This is an ability for you to grow and build in a market that we're literally maybe a couple thousand agents right now. It's crazy. And so we need 100,000 agents alone just in America to really cover the market and do the great job Experior does for clients. So again, that first mover advantage is so huge when you're building a business. Now, what about our ecosystem back office solutions? I'm going to go through and break it out for you. It's an amazing system. We've got millions upon millions of dollars invested in our ecosystem, from expert financial analysis tools, quoting and apps for, in the US, we got quoting and apps for final expense, annuities, IULs. In Canada, we got all the term, whole life, different groups and companies and all the different, quoting and app tools. So it saves our agents so much time. Our CRM tracking system for emails and automation is amazing. I mean, a lot of people use their own systems today, but we got an incredible internal system that we use. We have Telegram groups and WhatsApp groups, so people can get instant results, instant answers to tough questions about cancer, stroke, heart attack situations, family planning, estate planning. Which products are best for this or that? What do you guys recommend? It's amazing when top agents of 20 plus years are sharing their knowledge and giving it away for free for the good of the company, for the good of the industry. That doesn't happen in the regular MGA channels. I'm telling you, it does. I spent time there. It does not happen. Top leaders, unless they've got a heart of gold, will give that knowledge to others because they're so scared of giving it away for free. And they don't want to have their competition, which I've never met too many clients that have other top agents that are doing all the stuff for them. I always find there's lots of room in the marketplace. I work from a mindset of abundance, not scarcity mentality. When you operate from abundance, there's always more market share for everybody. So branding and marketing for the top agents, branding and marketing, professional websites, all that. We have all that. We have a lot of great approved compliance material for all the different times of the month, types of the month, that where you have life insurance awareness, you have critical illness awareness month, you have all that debt awareness, all those kind of great things. We have products, we have all those branding, marketing tools for you to put on social media. Now, let's take a look at our score, our back office. So this is our back office ecosystem. So again, we have all these different areas where you can go in and get all your stuff done for you. So again, we have all the different resources, from all the carrier information, the recorded videos, all the training. We have a 24/7 video library, where to contact people, all the product partner contacts, all of our schedule of training. All of our products are all explained here. All of our contracting, commissions, compliance, resources, all this is here to help agents become top professionals and also to help people build and grow a successful business. So let's take a look at the scoreboard. So if you're looking at the scoreboard, so this is year to date so far for the year. So we have top production levels here. So everything is tracked in our scoreboard. So whether it's insurance, okay, whether it's investments, whether it's recruiting and building, whether it's licensing. So all of these are tracked in the back office. $71 million of production for our agency so far for the year. That's pretty awesome. That means $71 million of families being served, families being helped. So all these agents here on our team are helping families and creating that legacy. So we can track all of this. You can track every level you're at in the business to see how you compete, how you stack up. So this is a very, very powerful tool that a lot of companies don't even have this. So talk about commission statements here in Canada. Look at, here's some of the top companies. Here's some of them blanked out, of course, for confidentiality purposes, but you can see how our commissions are formed. We know everything we get paid. We can track it down to the pennies and the dimes, folks. Sometimes it's 40, 70, 80, 100 pages long. On the US side, we have the US commissions. Here's one of our US carriers, but all of these companies, all these commissions are completely calculated. You can see exactly where all your income comes from. So it's a beautiful place to get paid and know where you're getting paid from. Another huge opportunity. So we have something great where, yes, in Canada, you have an enrollment fee to register, but once you're registered and you get your license approved with Experior and you go what's called green on the system, means you're now able to make money, of your proper compliance, E&O, bank account uploaded, everything's uploaded, you get reimbursed the $150. So this is a big incentive for serious people to get licensed. We don't just recruit to recruit, folks. That's just wrong. That's just dumb. Okay, I don't believe in it. You should actually be recruiting people to get properly licensed in the industry, to go serve families and properly train them. So again, this reduces transition costs for larger teams. So if you're bringing a team of agents from another MGA and you want to bring them here, there's no actual cost, because once their license is hit, we reimburse that. So we're not here to try to make money off people who sign up. That's not how we make money as a company, but we do get paid when business happens. So again, it's an incentive. We also reimburse your licensing course. How many firms are doing that today? reimbursing your licensing course. So when you get your first promotion to senior financial associate, one of 3 different ways, officially in the back office and officially done properly, then you would get reimbursed. And so this is a nice reimbursement. So depending on which company you're using, that full course amount is reimbursed. And this is a beautiful thing. It just saves money for agents to get into the industry. So why partner with Experior? Well, first of all, number one priority should be for the customer, helping make an impact in their lives. Number 2 would be for yourself, having fun again, building a business, earning some income, earning shares, leaving a legacy. Why not leave a legacy and have that additional value and benefit? The last one, honestly, would be to make a change in the world. You know, Experior wasn't created by shareholders and savvy investors. It was created by agents, for agents, and owned by agents. So this model really works well. Unfortunately, WestJet got sold, and it's not the same WestJet. It's never going to be the same when owners own the company. And so I love the fact that as agents own the company, we steward it, we take care of it. We don't want the industry jokers coming here. We pick them out right away. And a lot of them don't come here because they know we don't play those games. So we don't want those people. Leave them for somebody else, right? We want good, hardworking, ethical people in the company so we can grow and build a successful business. Now, all these agents here are agents I work with in Canada, and they're all from different walks of life and backgrounds. So if you're not having success where you're at, maybe it's time to change. Maybe it's time to get a new coach, a new opportunity, a new comp program where you can make more money and actually stop living a nightmare while someone's trying to sell you the dream and get making real money here. So I love the fact that you get to work with all these amazing people, just truly awesome and dynamic people we get to work with. Some are still working full-time jobs, and they're making 6 figures with us. So, you know, it's kind of amazing. Julian makes over 200 grand a year with us, and she's still full-time in her job and her career. So it's pretty amazing to see that. And so many wonderful people here from all walks of life. I don't care what race, religion, color, background you come from. If you are a hard worker with hard work ethic and integrity, and you want to grow and build a business, we'll teach you how to do it. So I love the fact that we can do that with so many great people. So why now? Well, you know, one thing I know, we've got a great brand in the market. I don't need to hide behind my brand. I'm proud of who I'm with. I can tell the name in the marketplace. People don't slam the door in my face because I'm with a certain company. I love that. But the timing is also valuable. So if you could be at the beginning of some of the companies that began back in the 80s or the 2000s in Canada, and that you could be with them, man, your timing would have been great. Well, guess what? Our timing is impeccable right now because of our producer and builder compensation model for the industry, the competitive compensation, more comp to agents, and then all those ownership factors are just huge. So when it comes down to it, we're looking for real people, and we're offering real ownership and real change for you and your family to build a legacy, to build a future. Why not come win with Experior? Why not come and give us a shot? And, you know, if you're looking for something to really change your course of your life, you're looking for a better place to bring your agents, put your team, and get them more income, get them helping more families, be able to leave a true legacy for your family, I believe it's here. And so with that, I want to just say a big thank you for taking the time to watch this. And so please follow up with the person that invited you to watch this video, or follow up. If I've sent this directly to you from me, let's follow up and talk, but get back to the person that shared this with you, and let's have a real conversation, right? And listen, one thing I've told people is don't ever bash somebody else's company. That's just so unprofessional. It's not needed. It's just a lack of professionalism. Anyone that bashes other people's companies, you should never bash their company. First of all, they're proud of their company. They're proud of the work they've done. They're proud of helping families. So no need to bash them. All I would say is, listen, I just want to share with you how we're different. So I'm not here to ever bash on our company, right? But there's some things that companies are doing right now that are wrong, and I don't believe in it. So I can pick on that, but again, be professional in your approach. And so again, we hope you see that. We hope you feel that. And so I hope to see you really soon and get to know you and get to help you and your family building a true legacy for your family going forward in this amazing, amazing industry. So with that, I want to say a big thank you for being here, and have an awesome, awesome day, no matter what time of day it is that you watch this. Thank you and take care.